I first want to say what a pleasure it is for me to be here this evening with all of you. I've been in Hong Kong many times, but only within the confines of the beautiful airport here in Hong Kong. And I'm also very pleased to be here at Hong Kong Polytechnic University. And so I want to thank you, those of you who are from the university, for hosting tonight's event. And I want to thank Mujta David and the Anatolian Cultural Dialogue Center for sponsoring this event. First, maybe I should say something about where I come from. I'm from Chicago, and I teach at a place called Catholic Theological Union. It's the largest Roman Catholic graduate school of theology and ministry in the United States. We have about 500 students from 43 different countries. Only about 100 of them are seminarians, meaning studying for the priesthood. So they are all de facto male. And they come from a variety of different countries. They belong to 25 different men's religious orders, Catholic religious orders. And they're preparing for the priesthood. But the majority of our students are laymen and women who are preparing for a variety of different kinds of ministries, working in local parishes or doing social justice and development work, you know, for the church in different parts of the world. You know, we have students from West Africa and East Africa, Latin America, a number of students from China, from People's Republic of China, from Taiwan, really all over the world. We were born, the school was born in the aftermath of the Second Vatican Council. And I realize not all of you may be familiar with the history of the Catholic Church. It was a global council of bishops that took place in the early 1960s. And it was really designed for the church to sort of, one of the metaphors that was used is open the windows of the church to the modern world. One of the revolutionary things that happened at that council was the promulgation of a document called Nostra Aetate. It's the Vatican documents are usually titled by the first few words of the document in the original Latin, and with the official Latin in which they're written. Nostra Aetate means in our age. And it's the shortest document to come out of the Second Vatican Council, but I like to say that its influence has been in inverse proportion to its length. In other words, it's a very small document, but it's had profound influence. And it was a document that talks about the relationship of the Catholic Church to other faith traditions. And in many ways, it was revolutionary. Because while it still, kind of affirmed the Church's commitment to, witness to Jesus Christ universally, etc., deeply within this document is a call for people of different faiths to recognize the dignity of each other's faith. And especially for the purposes of mutual understanding, reconciliation, and building the solidarity of the human family. The document deals with a number of major religions, but there's a lot of focus on Judaism and Islam. And when the school opened in 1968, the school I teach at opened in 1968, they had a rabbi as a charter member of the faculty. And so they could boast to be the first Catholic school of theology to have a rabbi on the faculty. And they had a Catholic Jewish studies program from the very beginning of the school. And then in the late 90s, they wanted to begin a similar program for Catholic-Muslim relations. And so I was hired to be the founding facilitator of that program. The official title is director, but when my son first came to my new office when he was 12 years old, my wife's an executive, and when he came to my office, he looked around and he said, "What's your title, Dad?" I said, "Director of Catholic Muslim Studies." He said, "Who do you direct?" There was nobody there. Like when he went to his mother's office and there'd be all these people that worked for Mom, there was nobody that worked for me. So I had to explain to him, I said, I'm really more the facilitator of the program. I don't direct anybody or really anything. So I've been doing that. We started the program in September of 2000, and then 1 year later, September 11th, 2001. And so it really felt like providence for me to be in this, because the demand for mutual understanding, especially between Christians and Muslims, kind of went up, increased a great deal after September 11th. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, etc., they're extremely diverse, both contemporaneously and historically. But even within a particular confessional or sectarian expression of a religious tradition like Christianity, I'm a Roman Catholic, we have a tremendous spectrum of kind of interpretations. And so, there very well may be fellow Catholics who would take issue with some of what I'm going to say today and share with you. So these are reflections that I hope are rooted in good history of religions and good Christian theology. So good history of religions in terms of my study of Islam and my education in Islamic studies, and good sort of Catholic Christian theology. But also there's a profoundly personal dimension to all of this. So it's a kind of mixture of the academic and the personal. In that sense, is very tenuous and very flawed and very idiosyncratic. And so I welcome any critiques and feedback of any kind that you have for me.